privilege to be here with you tonight. I too appreciate you having all of us come and speak. And I have to say, it truly is an honor to be in the same company with my other three candidates that are running. It's just such an honor to be here. Now, we've heard, and I want to stress that this judicial election is so very important because our juvenile judge is retiring. Judge Cook, that we've already heard about, is retiring after over 20 years on the bench. And what literally is at stake is our juvenile court. And I too want to keep Division II as our dedicated juvenile court and carry on with all the many wonderful things that Judge Cook has put in place over the years and just take it from there. Now, a little bit about myself, because April the 1st of this year, I've been practicing law in Garland County for 23 years. I've spent the first 17 years in private practice, centered primarily on issues pertaining to family law. I also did a lot of probate and estate work, did a lot of real estate work and contract disputes. But as an attorney in private practice, I have literally tried thousands of cases before the juvenile court. And I should say before the circuit court. And 6 years ago, the state of Arkansas hired me because of my extensive background in family law to represent the Department of Human Services, the Division of Children and Family Services here in Garland County. And in the last 6 years alone, as serving as attorney for DHS, my practice is solely dedicated to the juvenile court arena, and I have appeared in juvenile court for well over 2,000 trials and hearings in juvenile court just in the last 6 years alone. Now, you may can tell this is my first time to run for a public office. And I have really enjoyed it so far. And of course, the best part about it is meeting new people. I enjoy getting to know each one of you. It's nice to look out and see some familiar faces. It makes me feel a little bit safer maybe here. But have you ever met someone new and as you're talking to them, they ask you the question, well, what do you do? I'm sure you've all been asked that. I get asked that a lot. So when I'm asked, what do you do? I tell them, well, I'm the attorney for DHS, and I'm responsible for all the cases brought before juvenile court in regard to the abused and neglected children in our county. And it's kind of funny. I've kind of gotten used to it over 6 years, but as I can tell, people are processing what I just told them. Their facial expression changes almost to a, did you say abused and neglected children? And I say, yes, abused and neglected children. And they're like, well, that just doesn't sound too good. Tell me a little bit about it. And so I proceed to tell them what I do. And I want to tell you in the few minutes I have tonight what I do and what goes on in juvenile court. Now, we've already heard a little bit about it. Juvenile court deals with our kids, minors, juveniles, who are breaking criminal law. Juvenile court deals with our children whose behavior may be so out of control that the parent or guardian can't keep them under control, and they need some help and assistance to set some boundaries and things of that sort. And then juvenile court also deals with children who are being abused and or neglected by their parent or guardian, the very ones who should be keeping them safe the most. But every business day, I practice juvenile law, and I know firsthand that our children and our families that are navigating their way through juvenile court are in crisis mode, and they are facing some extremely serious issues. And I want to tell you that in juvenile court, I have dealt with children, with toddlers, who have been beaten so severely by a parent and with such force that the retinas in their eyes have become detached, their skull has been fractured, their brain shifted, and it's left them in a permanently comatose state. And I've had to ask the court for an order to end life supports. That's tough. That's a very serious issue. As a mother, I can't imagine anything else more serious. In juvenile court, we deal with parents who are so addicted to drugs that they've literally pimped out their own child just to get money for the next fix. Or they've crashed their vehicle and they don't even know or realize that their child is in the car with them, much less have them secured in a safety seat properly. We deal with parents whose houses are so drug infested that their child's hair follicle test comes back positive for black tar heroin or for meth, or whose houses are so roach infested that roaches keep showing up in the baby's bottle. And we deal with parents who lock their child or children in a room or in a closet with no food and no water for hours on end. We deal with children who are born addicted to meth or cocaine. We deal with all kinds of extremely serious issues. And you know, after I explain that to them, you know what the next question is that they ask me? That's it. How can you stand to do that day after day? Why do you do that? And you know what I tell them? I tell them because it makes a difference in each precious child's life. Because there's absolutely nothing more important than protecting our children and preserving and strengthening our families. This is where my heart lies. This is what I have dedicated my work life to. This is where my passion is. And I love the quote by James Barry. He says, "Nothing is ever really work unless there's someplace else you'd rather be." And I've got to tell you, as horrible as it is sometimes, there's nowhere else I would rather be. And for every child, if we have a good result for that child or for that family, I'm telling you, I have absolutely the best job on the face of this planet. And I want to serve as your juvenile judge. I want to keep making a difference in all these precious children's lives. And I do ask for your support, and I ask for your vote. Thank you.